Okay, so I'm starting the class because still lots of students are absent. In the last class, we have seen different thoughts of management. Today also, we will continue with this thing that how this management theory has evolved step by step, starting from scientific management to organizational environment theory, through the path of administrative management theory, behavioral management theory, management science theory, and all that. Here you can see a graph kind of thing. You can very easily understand that scientific management theory, this thought, it has come nearly 1890, and it was there up to 1940. Similarly, if we see the administrative management theory, it has just come after the scientific management theory, and it was there up to 1980. Similarly, from the graph, you can understand behavioral management theory. It was started after 1910 and it was there up to 1990 almost. And management science theory has started at 1940 almost, and it was there up to 2000. And organizational environment theory, it has started after 1940 and it was there up to 2000 and like that. After that, this management thinking, this thought has changed a lot with our economical changes, socio-economical changes, uh, and all that. So basically, this is a this particular picture is given to you to give you an rough idea about the different periods of the different management theory. So we will today visit in more detail to these theories. So let's start now. If you see the management approaches, now the management approaches, the basic three approach we will found. One is classical or scientific approach, another is behavioral approach, and another is contingency approach. This contingency approach, I suppose I have not discussed in last class. We will discuss it today again. This thing. In classical or scientific approach, it is basically we think here management as a set of different functions, and especially the functions are like that: planning something, then to organize these things, and then to controlling. So planning, organizing, and controlling, these three are the basic functions which has been focused in scientific management theory. Now with that, here specialization of labor, this particular concept, this particular uh, uh, thinking has come. Hierarchical organization structure. Here we have we have divided our organizational structure hierarchically. That means step by step, based on the division of labor. That means the labor what in human resource is putting in the organization. So based on that, like suppose somebody is doing the very basic factory job, like very basic manufacturing job. Somebody is in the office, somebody is in the top management. So based on that, we have divided our organizational structure hierarchical. So here naturally specialization of labor is coming. That means everybody is labor actually. Everybody is putting their effort. That effort is here like labor. We are not saying that, I mean, here labor means we are not specifying any particular group of people. Here labor means we are putting effort actually. So everybody's effort is specialized in some areas. So based on that, organizational structure has been segregated into different layer. So that is basically hierarchical organizational structure based on the specialization of labor. And here in classical or scientific management, here we have found that autocratic leadership style. That means your boss is a person who will guide you, who will tell you what you have to do. So there is autocratic leadership. You don't have such scope. You being a normal people of the organization, normal employee of the organization, you don't have so much scope to put your view put your view in front of them. So it is autocratic leadership style was followed in classical or scientific management. So these things, these are the very basic, very essence of the classical or scientific management, classical scientific management. Now, next is behavioral management. Next thinking has come, which is basically behavioral management. Now, in the behavioral management, things become change, and this change has come not only, I mean, it is not come in a single day. It has come with the changes, lots of changes in the industrialization policies, lots of changes in the socio-economic conditions of the people, of the society. With that, gradually these changes has happened. So here in behavioral management, leading, motivating and communicating among the employees, motivating the employees, leading the employees, communicating among the communication among the employees. These things has been focused on. So here management means management is treated as leading the employees in from the front, motivating your employees, communicating with your employees, and obviously there should be a scope of communication among the employees. Now here, if you see this hierarchical organization structure, this structure has gone. Instead of that, flat organizational structure has come. That means there is no such division of layer. I mean, there is no such segregation, not such segregation based on the specialization of the labor. So here it is a flat organization structure. Everybody has something to say. Everybody can participate in some decision making process. If some problem is occurred, so everybody can participate in that decision making process. So it's a flat kind of organization. So everybody has a scope to put his or her views on a particular problem. So that is basic thing about the behavioral management. Behavioral management, that means here human beings, human resource are the most precious resource, and that has been that was the thought actually. So here you can say that management style was participative or democratic leadership style. So what is participative or democratic leadership style? That means your leader, unlike scientific management, in scientific management it was autocratic leadership. That means your leader will tell you that what you have to do. But in behavioral management, your leader will set an example in front of you, and he will guide you throughout your work, throughout your job. And during the whole process, you will get various scopes to put your views in front of them. So that is basically the participative leadership style. So this was a good change. This was a very good change. But again, that change has not come in a single day. The change has come with the need, with the changes in the organizational policy and all that. So basically, if you think that these changes has come in a single day, that will be a wrong notion. Okay, so that is behavioral management. Next is contingency theory. Now, contingency theory basically adapting management and organizational approaches to circumstances. That is basically contingency theory. That means basically here you have to be adaptive, you have to be dynamic. I mean, you means the management, the policy of the management. The policy of the management should be dynamic. The policy of the management should be adaptive. That means whenever, wherever some changes are required due to any reason, some changes are required, some valid changes are required, obviously. Uh, your policy should be like that, that you will, you can change that thing. So that is adapting management or organizational, which actually depends on the circumstances. So if some situation occurs where you need to change something, so you will be allowed to do that. That is basically the thinking of the contingency management, which is much more modern concept actually. In comparison to other two, it is a much more modern concept, and you can see that later on also. So that's a contingency theory. So here it is adaptive management policy. So scientific management policy, here the leadership style is autocratic leadership style. Behavioral management policy, here we found that it is a participative or democratic leadership style. Democratic কেন বলছি আমরা, because everybody can participate in the decision making process. That's why it's a democratic leadership style. Contingency theory is much more advanced. Here we are not only democratic leadership styles, because these things are there actually. So not only democratic leadership style, but here we are very much dynamic. Here our management policies, it is very much dynamic because you know, change is the only constant. This is the very basic thing. We know that change is the only constant. So here in contingency theory, that provision is included, that you can change your policies and all that if it is required. So it is not like a rigid path will be followed. A fixed path will be followed. If there is something to change, you should be allowed to do that. So that is basically three management approaches in a very nutshell. Very briefly I explained to. So now let us see. This is a very basic difference between Taylor's contribution and Fayol's contribution. So Taylor's contribution and Fayol's contribution, you know, Taylor's, he is known as father of scientific management, whereas Fayol, you see, basically these two contributions has come very nearly. I mean, 1911, Taylor's contribution, Taylor's theory has come, and Fayol's theory has come in 1916. So it is very contemporary. So you can just think that this management policies, how these policies has gradually changes. Okay, so people today people thinking something is very important. Now tomorrow, depending on the change situation, people is thinking no, maybe that will be good, that will be better. So in that way, it has come actually. So now. Now you see, Taylor, he was a mechanical engineer and obviously scientist, because he has put some theories and all that on management science. And Fayol was a mining engineer. He was a mining engineer. Mining engineer মানে যারা খনিতে কাজ করে, খনির related engineering, that is mining engineering. So these are their education. So they both are not a manager, direct manager and all that. So that's why I always say that management, to become a manager, anybody can become a manager if he or she has that potential, that capability. So to earn those capabilities is very important. Now here in your course, in your graduation course, this BBA, it will give you, if here you have that scope to earn those qualities, and those qualities are very important actually. So like if we see principles of Taylor's principle, then you will see Taylor introduced principle of scientific management and functional foremanship. You know, functional foremanship আমরা দেখেছিলাম, অনেকগুলো foreman, প্রত্যেকটা ডিপার্টমেন্টে foreman আছে বিভিন্ন ধরনের. So functional foremanship along with the techniques such as method study, motion study, etc. So we have seen it in our previous classes. So that is basically Taylor's contribution, Taylor's principle, you can say. But Fayol introduced 14 principles of management. এটাও আমরা দেখেছি, last class-এই দেখেছি, if you remember. Fayol's introduced 14 principles of management such as order, equity, esprit de corps and all that. So that is basically the principles of Taylor and Fayol. Now, application of principle, how they have applied it. Now, Taylor has applied it to some specialized situation, whereas Fayol, it is accepted everywhere and universal in nature. So that is a major difference between Taylor's principle and Fayol's principle. Taylor's principle has applicable to specialized situations, whereas Fayol's principle is applicable or accepted everywhere and universal. Okay, everywhere, irrespective of any industry, anywhere, it is achieved. It is acceptable. Next, the perspective. You see, that means what is the thinking? What is the detailed thinking behind it? That is basically the thing. So Taylor's principles are based on improving the conditions of floor level worker first. That means Taylor has concentrate on the very first line people, very first line employees. That means those who are actually working in the factories and all that. হ্যাঁ বলো
বলছি কয়েকজন স্টুডেন্ট ঢুকতে পারেনি নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেমের জন্য
ঢুকতে পারো
ঠিক আছে
so Taylor has concentrated on the improving of the very frontline people যারা একদম ইন্ডাস্ট্রিতে যারা একদম ফ্যাক্টরিতে those who are working directly with the machines and all that. So those are frontline people of the organization. So Taylor says Taylor's principle was focused on those people, but Fayol's principles it was based on the functions of the higher management. Fayol's principle, it was based on the functions of the higher management. That means mid-level, or operational level as well, operational level, mid-level and high level management. So Fayol's principle and Taylor's principle, there is a very distinct difference. Okay, so a question can come that difference between Taylor's principle and Fayol's principle. In that case, you can write these things. Okay, that's why I've given it to you. Now, Taylor's focus was on improving the overall administration of an organization. টেলর বলেছিল যে ওভারঅল অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশনের ওভারঅল ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট ইজ ভেরি নেসেসারি. Fayol's contribution, on the other hand, it was focused on the increasing the productivity along with the workers' efficiency. Fayol বলেছিল যে ওয়ার্কারের এফিসিয়েন্সিকে ইমপ্রুভ করতে হবে, প্রোডাক্টিভিটিকে ইমপ্রুভ করতে হবে. অবভিয়াসলি ওয়ার্কারের এফিসিয়েন্সি ইমপ্রুভ হলে প্রোডাকশন ইনক্রিজ হবে. But Taylor সে কথা বলেনি. টেলর বলেছিল যে ইমপ্রুভিং দি ওভারঅল অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশন অফ অ্যান অর্গানাইজেশন, টোটাল অর্গানাইজেশনের যে অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশন সেটাকে ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট করা. So that was the emphasis and focus. Now you know Taylor is known as the father of scientific management and Fayol is called father of general management. So this is the difference, basic difference between Taylor's contribution and Fayol's contribution. Okay. So you can say anything if you have any doubt from these two comparison. You can say. If you have any doubt, please tell me. Between the Taylor's contribution and Fayol's contribution, if you have any doubt, you can say. If you think something else regarding these two contributions, if you have studied it already, then you can say. So this is the difference. This is the difference between Taylor's contribution and Fayol's contribution. I hope you have understood. But here, remember, we follow democratic approach. So always, if you have any doubts, you can ask me, and I always encourage these things. And I believe that class should be communicative. It should be both way. আমি একমাত্র বলে যাচ্ছি তুমি শুনে যাচ্ছ, that will be a very bad approach. So always you should give some input that is encouraged very much. Acha. Next is now if you have nothing to say, then we will see the basic management approaches once again and little more detail or like that. The first approach was, you know that was empirical approach of the management. The name is empirical or case approach management. So this is based on the belief that experience is the best guide to knowledge, and this approach analyzes management by studying the case histories of successful managers. So that is basically the empirical or case approach of management thinking, যেখানে বলা হলো যে নলেজ কোথা থেকে আসবে, এক্সপেরিয়েন্স থেকে আসবে, এবং case history, if you go through some case histories, that will give you the best input. From there you can acquire your experience, you can acquire your knowledge. So that case histories, like a study of the success and failures both actually of the managers, these are very important. So that is empirical or case management approach. Now next is behavioral school, যেটা নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করলাম, interpersonal behavior approach or behavioral school of thought. আমরা এগুলোকে স্কুল অফ থট বলি, যেমন কেস অ্যাপ্রোচ ম্যানেজমেন্ট বাই কাস্টম স্কুল অফ থট, interpersonal behavioral approach, that is it is better known as behavioral school of thought. These are some school of thought. School of thought মানে চিন্তাধারার একটা মানে এক একটা চিন্তাধারা, বাংলায় বললে যেটা হয় এক একটা চিন্তাধারা, এক একটা পয়েন্ট অফ ভিউ ইউ ক্যান সে, দৃষ্টিকোণ থেকে আমরা দেখছি ম্যানেজমেন্টকে। আমরা দেখছি মানে বিভিন্ন রিসার্চাররা দেখে গেছেন, আমরা সেগুলো স্টাডি করছি অ্যাকচুয়ালি। So interpersonal behavioral approach or behavioral school of thought. So here what we say is, since management involves getting things done through people, this is the very basic definition, older definition of management, that management means getting things done through other people. Now it is not valid. In today's perspective, it is not valid. Today you have to be involved with them when you are instructing somebody, so you have to be involved with them as well. That is the approach of management today. So so since the management involves getting things done through people, this approach concentrates on the human aspects of management. Now যেহেতু
তারপর দেখো না ওই ভিডিও
So that is the thinking that as we have to deal with the people, so we have to be with the people. We, the manager, have to be with the people. So that's why this behavioral school has come, this thought has come. So this school believe that when people work together to accomplish objectives, people should understand one another. So that collaborative approach should be there. So this seeks to solve problem by applying psychology to management. So psychology has a very prominent effect. Human psychology, to understand human psychology for the managers, it is very important to understand human psychology. So because you have to deal with the people, so as you have to deal with the people, so understanding human psychology is very important. Here manager has to apply the psychology they have to understand the psychology of the different people যাদের নিয়েও কাজ করছে. So thus this approach lays emphasis on the importance of leadership, motivation of people at work, and the influence of work environment. So তিনটে জিনিসের উপর এখানে ফোকাস করা হয়. Leadership, how you are providing leadership to them, how you can motivate them, and what is your how good work environment you can provide to your employees. So this is basically behavioral approach or behavioral school of thought. আমরা এগুলো নিয়ে পড়েছি অলরেডি, so এটা একটা thought. Next হচ্ছে the group behavior approach or social school of thought. This is another kind of approach, group behavior approach or social school of thought. Now, this approach is concerned primarily with the behavior among individuals. First of all, behavior among individual ke study করে এই thought এই theory অনুযায়ী, then আমরা গ্রুপ স্টাডি করার চেষ্টা করি। আমরা পিপল যারা কাজ করছে তাদের গ্রুপে, তারা ধরা যাক একটা টিমে তারা কাজ করছে বা একটা সোশ্যাল গ্রুপ থেকে তারা বিলং করে। So we try to study their feelings, their attitudes, and all that. And based on that, we do these things. So that is group behavior approach or social school of thought. Next is operational approach or management process school. That is another school. আমি আবারও বলছি, school means here the how management is treated, how management, I mean how we are thinking management as. So these are different thoughts actually given by different people, এবং এই কোনোটাই একসঙ্গে আসেনি, গ্র্যাজুয়ালি এসছে, ইভলভ করেছে আস্তে আস্তে। ডিফারেন্ট পিপল এই থটগুলো নিয়ে ভাবনা চিন্তা করেছে, তাদের রিসার্চ করেছে তারা এগুলো নিয়ে। সো এইভাবে আস্তে আস্তে এসছে। So operational approach কি বলছে তোমরা, from the name you can understand this approach views management as an activity based on certain unique management functions. Operational approach যখনই বলছি তার মানে আমরা activity based, it is activity based. ম্যানেজমেন্টের যে বিভিন্ন অ্যাক্টিভিটি গুলো সেই activity based things. So management is regarded as a process of getting things done through the functions of planning, organizing, staffing, leading and controlling. These are the very basic functions of management. আমরা একদম প্রথম দিনেই বোধহয় পড়েছিলাম, to plan something, whatever you are going to do, you have to plan first, then you have to organize the required things, and you have to know that how the things will be accomplished, how the job will be accomplished. So organizing, then staffing, then you have to find out who will be allocated to which portion of the organization or which department and all that. So you have to arrange the staffing things, that means the human resource. Then leading, then you have to lead them whenever there are more than one people are engaged in a particular job. So obviously there will be a need to lead them. Then controlling, then you have to control them. That not means that you will control them like কেউ কোথাও মানে এদিক ওদিক করতে পারছেন এরকম কিছু না। কন্ট্রোল দেম, there are different approaches, আমরা সেগুলো নিয়ে আলোচনা করবো গ্র্যাজুয়ালি। বেসিক্যালি these are the basic functions of management. তো অপারেশনাল অ্যাপ্রোচে সেটাই বলা হয়েছে যে এই ম্যানেজমেন্টকে এইভাবে ভাবা হয়েছে যে প্ল্যানিং একটা অ্যাক্টিভিটি, অর্গানাইজিং একটা অ্যাক্টিভিটি, স্টাফিং একটা অ্যাক্টিভিটি, লিডিং একটা অ্যাক্টিভিটি, কন্ট্রোলিং একটা অ্যাক্টিভিটি। এই অ্যাক্টিভিটির থ্রু দিয়ে ম্যানেজমেন্ট আমরা অ্যাচিভ করছি, আমরা বেটার ম্যানেজমেন্ট অ্যাচিভ করছি। সো ইট ইনভলভস কোঅর্ডিনেশন অফ হিউম্যান অ্যান্ড ম্যাটেরিয়াল রিসোর্সেস। অবভিয়াসলি যখন তুমি এই সবকটাকে ফলো করছো তার মানে তোমার দুটো জিনিসই লাগবে, মেনলি তোমার দুটো জিনিসই ইনভলভ এর মধ্যে। দ্যাট ইজ, ওয়ান ইজ হিউম্যান বিং, অ্যানাদার ইজ ম্যাটেরিয়াল রিসোর্সেস, দ্য মেশিনস, দ্য র ম্যাটেরিয়ালস, হোয়াট এভার ইউ আর ইউজিং to produce your things and all that. So that is operational approach in a nutshell. Next is decision theory approach. So here this approach concentrates on the decision making function of management. Now I have told you previously as well that decision making is a very vital activity of a manager, very vital function of a manager. If a person who is a manager can take quick decisions for the betterment of organization, so that manager will be successful. That is here. So taking good decisions are very important, and in our life also we have to take different decisions. So if you have that ability to take quick decisions in the bad situation, in the needed situation, then it will be a very good quality. It will be regarded as a very good quality of you as a manager. And that will help you a lot to progress in your career. So here this decision theory approach, this approach concentrates on the decision making function of the management basically. And here according to this theory, the main focus will be the management. Focus of the management will be the decision making. It will be on decision making, how good decisions can be taken. So decisions of what to achieve and how to achieve. If the real challenges before a manager, একটা ম্যানেজারের কাছে বিভিন্ন চ্যালেঞ্জ আসে, প্রতিদিন তাকে চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস করতে হয়, প্রতিদিন তার কাছে প্রবলেম আসে। চ্যালেঞ্জ মিনস এখানে প্রবলেম, প্রতিদিন এখানে প্রবলেম আসে তার কাছে। So a manager, if they can face that challenge and if they can take good decisions in those crisis situation. So that will be very much helpful for the organization as well. Okay. So that is basically the decision making approach or decision theory approach. Now the communication center approach. Now this approach views management as a center reviewing information, processing it and disseminating it, thus emphasizing on the role of communication in the management of business. That means what? That means here we are stressing, we are focusing on the communication among different people, among the management. Communication is very important. Information is very important. Information processing is another very important aspect. That means you are getting some information. You have to process those information. You have to handle those information properly. Then only it will be a successful thing. So that is communication center approach. Management is thinking as a communication center approach. That means information processing abilities. To get information, process it, disseminating it. This is the approach followed over here. Next is systems approach to management. Now, system, it is known as system management school. Now I think we don't have much time left. I think we have to go to the next session. Okay, come to the next session. We will continue from there and come to the next session.